Okay, we're here with Ray McBerry, who is the gubernatorial candidate for Georgia. Ray, do you support equal ballot access?
I absolutely support equal ballot access. In fact, I'm the only candidate in the race to talk about the fact that Georgia has the most onerous third-party ballot access laws in America, and I've already made a commitment that when I am elected to be the next governor of Georgia, I will work to increase ballot access for all individuals and third parties, because I believe that more competition is good for all of us in every area of life, including the political realm.
Thank you. And how do you propose to make health care more affordable for Georgians?
I believe there are several things we can do to make health care more affordable for Georgia. I think, number one, we need to work to make it so that Georgians can purchase health care across state lines. Again, the more competition there is, the lower the rates are going to be. Number two, Georgia has the second highest premium tax on health insurance in America. We're one of only 12 states that even have a premium tax on health insurance. It needs to go the way of the dinosaurs. It needs to be done away with. We have at least one company that has left the state of Georgia because insurance company, because they did not want to have to pass that tax on to all of their clients across the country. So we've lost business in that regard, as well as Georgians having to pay over $600 million in premium tax. So I absolutely would be in favor of removing the premium tax here in Georgia. And then, of course, I believe that the federal government has no constitutional jurisdiction to be involved with health care. So I will work to block any federal health care bill coming out of Washington. I think it is my responsibility as governor to stand up and say, Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution, either show me where you have the authority to do it, or you're not going to do it in my state. And Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution very clearly lays out the entire scope of authority for Congress, and nowhere will you find mention the area or the topic of health care.
Okay, and if your plan of abolishing property taxes is not adopted, do you support a cap on the market value statewide, similar to what is available in Glynn County?
Yes, I believe that property values, they should be indexed to a number of different things, including the taxes that you're already currently paying. I think that it's atrocious that Georgians should lose their homes and their property because of not paying their rent to the government at the end of the year. I have to tell you, though, I'm pretty adamant about the fact that we're not just going to work within the current system the way it is. When I'm the next governor of Georgia, we're going to abolish property tax here in Georgia, because it's Marxist to the core, it's un-American in the first place. One of the hallmarks and the cornerstones of any free republic is the right of a man or woman to own their own property outright. And until we get that right, all of our other liberties are going to remain in jeopardy. So I will work within the current system while we have to, but I will adamantly work to get rid of property tax all together here in Georgia.
Okay, last question. What do you think the relationship between Georgia and the federal government should be?
Oh, that's a great question. That's my favorite question. Again, Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution very clearly lays out the scope of the federal government's authority, particularly Congress, and 90% of what they're currently involved with in our lives is unconstitutional. They have no legitimate authority to be there. The very few things they're supposed to do, like defending our borders, they don't do. We absolutely must have a states' rights governor and General Assembly here in Georgia who every single time one of these unconstitutional encroachments comes out of Washington will stand up and say, you show me where you have the authority to do it in the Constitution, or you're not going to do it in my state. Until we have a governor who's willing to stand up to Washington and say that, not just because it's fun to say, but because it's the right thing to say. Until we have a governor who's willing to say that, we will continue to see our liberties infringed upon left and right. My Republican opponents in the race for governor, and Roy Barnes, who's leading the pack with the Democrats, has said repeatedly, we can't stop these things coming out of Washington. They're in charge. We simply have to learn how to work with it. I don't believe that's the case. The Constitution of these United States was given to us by the Founding Fathers. It is a contract. It's a contract, by the way, between the states. The federal government is not even a party to the contract. The federal government is simply a creation of the contract, which means it's just the agent of the states. It has no legitimate bearing on these decisions. They are decisions to be made by the states, And it's time that the states begin to nullify those acts coming out of Congress that are unconstitutional.
Thank you.
Thank you.